start coloring in our drawing. You're going to need some outdoor chalk that you use when you are coloring on your driveway and some hairspray later on. So here I have all my beautiful colored chalks, and they were great for drawing. They're just like soft pastels, so we're going to go ahead and dive in and get started. So I have some coral color right here, and I'm going to start to color that in my ground space. So all the way up to the horizon line, down to the foreground. And I'm using the side of my chalk very lightly. We don't want to press down hard. Now I'm grabbing a nice deep pink kind of magenta color, and I'm running this along the horizon line. So that way it looks like the horizon line is kind of going back and disappearing way back there. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in those cast shadow sections. We did those 3 stripes on the land area, so we're filling that in with the magenta color. So I'm just taking my magenta and running it along this cast shadow section below the left side tree and just dragging it out. Now I'm going to grab some yellow and applying that above the horizon line. So just above the horizon line, adding a few strokes of this yellow way back there. What's nice with the chalk is that you can keep on layering your colors and they just really start to pop. Now I'm just using that yellow and applying it to the background on the ground line. And I'm just bringing it forward to the middle ground. So I did that in the background, some yellow, now to the middle ground, and then to the foreground. So really nice light pressure with this chalk, and I'm just going around those tree trunks carefully. Now I'm going to take some light blue and just some really nice broad strokes with this light blue color up in the sky area. Now I just have some light purple, and I'm going into the middle section of the sky, and then I'm gonna go back into some more light blue in the bottom section for the rest of the sky, and I'm also layering it on top of the purple. So we're doing blue, then purple, and then blue again. Now I'm taking the side of my finger and I am going to smudge the foreground together. Now make sure is that you're going horizontal strokes, so you're going across your page, and make sure you keep an eye out on which fingers you're using when you're smudging. So I'm using not my pinky finger, I'm using the ring finger, so the finger right next to the pinky finger to smudge. So that's going to be my finger for the foreground. I'm just adding a few more layers of color over on the left side, and then now pick a different finger and you're going to start smudging in the sky. So just make sure you're really careful working around the trees. I'm adding a little bit more blue in between the tree trunks and the branches, but I want to make sure I'm leaving the leafy part of the tree empty. I want it to be open. I'm just layering a little bit more light blue on top of the purple just so it all blends in. I'm just going to take some light pink over the foreground and a little bit up in the sky, because the more layers the better with the chalk. So this is a good point in the video to take a break if you need it, and then you can come back and join me, or you can keep moving along and follow along with me in this video. I'm just taking some black and I am filling in the tree trunks and the branches. So make sure you're using the tip of your chalk and I'm just marking in the distant trees. Now in the foreground, so up close to us, I'm taking some nice bright peach color and I'm going at a diagonal. So remember, that's called hatching. So up close, we have lots of texture. We're trying to get that kind of grassy look. So it's okay to have the line showing. I'm going to give my paper a little tap to get all that extra powder off of the page. Now we're going to be making some green. So we have yellow and blue. So I'm going to layer the yellow down first in all of the oval shapes. So for the foliage area, for the tops of the trees, and it's okay to go a little outside of the outline. So it's touching the sky, that's okay. You can definitely have it overlap. Now I'm going to take a little bit of light blue on top of the yellow. And now I'm taking very, very lightly the side of my black and darkening underneath that oval shape under the tree, so that's the shadow area. There's just some yellow in the background and just kind of layering a little bit more with my colors on the horizon. Now for some contrast, we're going to have some nice bright orange on top of our cast shadow areas, and you can see how that really grounds the drawing. And I'm going to do a few hatching marks in the foreground. Now I have a little bit of some mid-tone green, and I'm going to very lightly, using small little hatching strokes, filling in a little bit of the greenery in the trees. And I'm starting in the darker areas where the black is, and then slowly working my way up. I can leave some areas a nice bright yellowy lime green. We don't have to cover everything with the medium green. Now I have some nice bright lime green. Now I'm going to put that on top of the medium green and on top of the bright yellow sections too. And you'll see that will really blend everything in nicely. And again, I'm keeping with the hatching, so going at a diagonal. And I'm using that lime green, just some dashes way back there in the yellow section above the horizon line. And I'm just taking a little bit of yellow just to blend in the foreground, and a little bit of orange to add some contrast. Just darkening up the horizon a little bit and the grassy areas. Now for the sky, I'm layering a little bit more light blue and some purple at a severe diagonal. So doing some major hatching marks up here in the sky. Now I'm going to go in with some contrast, and the top is going to be darker blue, and then it's going to slowly get lighter. Now you can see how this blue really pops. I'm using the side of the chalk pastel, and I'm just being really careful around this big tree on the left. And we want to make sure is that the darkness is only on the top portion of your page, and then this light blue is blending the dark blue in to the paper really nicely. Look at that, so exciting. Now make sure though, keep with the hatching marks. I'm just going to take a little bit of black on where the base of the tree trunk meets the ground and just dragging it out on top of the cast shadow area. Now I just have a little bit of green I'm adding in the foreground and some lime green. Add some warmth down there, and there we go, we got our drawing. Alright artists, this drawing's almost complete. So now what we need to do is we need to seal this drawing. So grab a piece of newsprint, lay it down on your table, and you're going to have some hairspray to seal the drawing. So once you have those two materials, put your drawing on top of the newspaper, and you're going to very lightly spray your drawing so then that way the powder doesn't spread everywhere. Once you do that, your drawing is complete. Nice work on week number 8. Good job, artists. Keep up the good work. Homework is down below in the description box. Nice work.